Well, no question Alvin Bragg and Juan Merchan should be in our theater of the absurd. In fact, they've kind of earned lifetime achievement status already. But there were some other crazy things that happened this week, so let's find out what they are with Brielle Joy Applebaum, a GOP strategist and founder of Inspire Capital, as well as Project 21 member Whitley Yates. So it's good to have you both.
Thanks, Rob. It's great to be here with you today.
So we begin with a nomination for what I think is the Theater of the Absurd Hall of Fame. So here's the setup. A guy has a court date in Ann Arbor, Michigan for driving with a suspended license. That's why he's going to court. Roll it.
Mr. Harris, are you driving?
Actually, I'm pulling into my doctor's office, actually. So just give me 1 second. I'm parking right now.
Defendant's bond is revoked in this matter. Defendant is turning himself into the Washington County Jail by 6 p.m. today. Failure to turn himself in will result in a bench warrant with no bond.
I mean, I love his reaction. I love the judge's reaction. Like, wait a minute. We're here because you're driving without a suspended license. That's the charge. And you're driving a car while a Zoom call is on. I love that, Brielle.
Just the earnestness of the defendant is hard to not smile at. Nothing surprises me these days, especially what we're seeing in this country, but it is quite endearing that the defendant felt this was an appropriate way to approach the bench.
Yeah, and he didn't like the ending of this story because he had to go report to jail at 6 o'clock that night. Whitley, what'd you think of this?
You know, I thought it was very hilarious. I watched it about 17 times because I just could not convince myself that he didn't know why he was going to court, that he knew that he had a charge of driving without a license and that he was going to show up and be driving while on camera talking to the judge. And I'm sure the judge was looking at him like, is this fake? Is this like an SNL skit? I thought it was so hilarious, but I'm glad that the judge did the right thing because clearly there's absolutely no defense when you're consistently committing the crime that you're currently being charged with while speaking to the judge.
No, it's like that would have been perfect April 1st, right? I mean, you couldn't have done something better than that on April 1st. All right, so if you want proof that children are running government, here we go. In Boston, the mayor, Michelle Wu, and I'll say it again, she was the one that did not allow any white people to her Christmas party, but she is allowing children under the age of 11 including those who are illegal aliens in Boston, to literally decide how to spend several $1 million on public projects. So my guess, Whitley, is this shows that the mayor is not smarter than a fifth grader.
I would agree. And based on her segregated seasonal parties, these students actually may be smarter than her. So I wouldn't actually put too much past them. You know, this is completely asinine. And I think that it really just goes to show how much these left-wing elected officials do not take the responsibility of their job seriously. They almost make a mockery of the entire political system. And so this is actually kind of sad to see. And I hope she's not reelected.
She probably will be, unfortunately, in Boston. Brielle, what did you think of this public service that she's doing to get, little kids involved in the process? So, one day you'll vote, but today you're going to tell me how to spend $5 million.
Look, Mayor Wu is soft on crime and she's soft on logic right now. It doesn't really make quite much sense to allow 7-year-olds to participate in this way, but allowing civics back in the education and back into the classroom is probably the better way to go. Allowing $2 to $4 million to be allocated by children and non-citizens here in the United States and in Boston, I wish I could tell you that it would surprise me, but not in this particular instance. What surprises me the most, however, that in these economic conditions, these are the priorities of Mayor Wu and the Boston City Council. There needs to be a major pushback from citizens, from parents, and those who are participating in the budgetary process, because this allocation of $2 to $4 million should really be going to families, to children, to the houselessness, to the veterans. So it's really perfectly illustrates the illogic nature of Mayor Wu and her administration.
Yeah, and the progressives, because she's allowing illegal aliens. I don't care what your age is, but you're not here legally, and she's allowing them not only to participate in the process, but to make decisions. It's total insanity, but it's, par for the course. So the Brits, they love their warm beer, and they also like to chase cheese, apparently. Since 1826, these daredevils, they gather annual at Cooper's Hill in Brockworth, England, which is very steep. It's slippery. It's 200 feet. And they roll a 7-pound wheel of double Gloucester cheese, and contestants chase it down the hill, and they do their best to not end up with broken bones. And Brielle, I think, was that you? Did you do that?
I didn't, but it looks like it was sponsored by my orthopedic surgeon. I have to tell you, these dairy-loving daredevils are absolutely fantastic. I love that they're not in front of a computer. I love that this is a 17th century tradition that's continued throughout the years. The participation across England, I think, is fantastic. And it's perfectly on brand with the absolute absurdity that's happening not only in England, not only in Europe, but here in the United States as well.
Well, Brielle, Whitley, I appreciate you playing along, and I'm going to do my own little thing now. I'm going to cover it up because they're not a sponsor, so they're not getting free advertising. But I just want to. Oh, I did it actually. Did you see? Did you guys have the shot or not? Look at that. Well, that was a bad one. Hold on a second. Yes, it made it. Thank you, ladies. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Rob.